Here's part 2 of our 2024 California trip. The city by the bay, San Francisco. As we were leaving the Monterey Bay area, it looked like the fog was going to follow us. That was a problem, but the big one was that today was Sunday. That meant all the restaurants and main tourist attractions were going to be crowded. Even worse, it was Mother's Day. That meant practically all the places were going to be jam-packed. So for the day, we decided to take a look at some slightly less than well-known places. First off was a stop at the 16th Avenue tiled steps. Woo! That's a long ways up. There are a total of 163 steps stretching 90 feet high. The steps are covered in over 2,000 unique tiles from over 75,000 glass fragments. Close to that is the Hidden Garden Step. Now this tile stairway is a little shorter at only 55 feet high. The steps here are covered with a garden theme showing insects, animals, and plant life. And just because it's shorter doesn't mean you can't pose for a picture on it. Next up is this giant sundial found at Ingleside Terraces. Erected in 1913, it was the largest sundial in the United States at that time. It's 28 feet long, 34 feet wide, and is accurate to within 1 minute. That metal plaque on it is instructions on how to tell time with it. Let's see. Holy smokes! This is worse than the instructions I get from IKEA. Indicated minutes, add 1 hour for DST, use left shadow, edge for AM. You know what? I'm going to stick with my watch. Besides, a lot of good this sundial is doing me on this foggy day. Next, we drove to the Excelsior District to 121 Amazon. This is the house where Grateful Dead bandleader Jerry Garcia lived until he was 5. At 87 Harrington Street is the modest home where Jerry lived with his grandmother until he was a teenager. On Mission Street is this plaque on the sidewalk honoring Jerry. You can see that time hasn't been very good to it. This is what it looked like when it was first unveiled. And here's a picture of the plaque in its better days. We just had time to drive over and take a look at Bradford Street. In a city known for its steep streets, this is the steepest with an amazing 41% grade to it. Trust me, you'll feel like you want to lie down and grab the sidewalk to keep from falling off the planet. After that, we found ourselves a nice place to have our dinner, and then headed over to our motel, checked in, and got ready for the next day. We started the next morning driving into the Haight and having breakfast at Kate's Kitchen. If you like cornmeal pancakes, you're not going to find any better than the ones at Kate's Kitchen. One thing we like to do when we're at the Haight is to walk around and look at all the murals. And today was no exception. I think they have the widest variety of murals in the Haight than anywhere else in the world. Also in the Haight, they had the greatest looking houses around. From there, we headed over to Chinatown. We started off at the famous Chinatown Dragon Gate, located at Bush and Grant Streets. Here's the picturesque Sing Chong building. This was the first building rebuilt after the 1906 earthquake. And here comes a cable car running down California, crossing in front of the Sing Chong building. Plenty of great murals in Chinatown too. We made our way over to what was once known as the Golden Dragon Restaurant, is now known as the Imperial Palace, to have lunch. It was here on September 4th, 1977 that the Golden Dragon Massacre occurred. 5 members of a Chinese gang, while attempting to kill the leader of a rival Chinese gang, fired weapons into the crowded restaurant. None of the gang members were killed, but the attack left 5 innocent people killed and 11 others injured. The shooting was used in the 1985 Michael Cimino movie, Year of the Dragon, starring Mickey Rourke. While we were eating there, nobody got a bug up their butt, there was no shooting, and we enjoyed a wonderful dim sum lunch. Here's a picture of Marion, and here I am, enjoying our lunch. After lunch, we went out and did a little more looking around Chinatown. Here's one of several terracotta warriors that stand guard at this building. Not far from Chinatown is this plaque hung on an alleyway wall. It's kind of hard to read, but it says, on approximately this spot, Miles Archer, partner of Sam Spade, was done in by Bridget O'Shaughnessy. This, of course, refers to the book in the movie, The Maltese Falcon. After getting something to eat, I went back to Chinatown to see what it looked like at night. Actually, I was kind of surprised at how quiet it was down there. A couple of great murals I ran across down there. Here's a close-up of that one. They painted it so it looks like he's holding a staff or some kind of weapon. Coming up on the Sing Chong building, one thing I had wondered about was whether or not the lanterns would be lit or not. Turns out they were, and I'm glad they were because they really made a nice sight. One last look at the Sing Chong building. Just as nice looking at night as it is during the day. I just wish it had been lit up a little bit better. That was it for me for the day. Time to get back to the motel and rest up for tomorrow. I had a feeling it was going to be another busy day.